Welcome to Q Automation Hub. In today's video, let's see what are the different types of static members that are available in Java, and we will see the difference between the static and non-static members. In first point, if you see a static method that belongs to a class and it can access all static variables and methods, static methods that are available in the class file. Okay, and it cannot access non-static methods and variables without creating an object. So you need to create an object to access a non-static method inside a static method. But here if you see a non-static method, it does not require a static keyword before it, and it can access all static data members and static methods, and it can access non-static members as well. Okay. In point two, if you see in static method, less memory is used because the memory allocation happens only for the first time. The class loads and it gets stored in the class area, so it requires only less memory. But in non-static methods, memory is used for execution, and here it happens, memory allocation happens when the method is invoked, and it is allocated every time when the method is called. And in the point 3, the static method cannot be overridden since it is created once during the compile time. It cannot be overridden inside a child class, but this non-static method can be overridden since it is created during the runtime. Okay. And the next static member is static block. This usually we use it for initializing your static variables. Okay, and this is also created during the class load and gets stored in the class area, and a single memory allocation happens for the static block also. And non-static variables we declare using the constructors, so that we will see it in this video. And the last one is the static and non-static variables, so that is I have covered in a separate video. Please go and watch the different types of variables that are available in Java. In that I have clearly explained the static and non-static variables. Okay, now we will see a simple example for showing the difference between the static and non-static members. And here you can see it's a simple representation for a Java memory, and I have divided into three parts: code, stack, and heap memory. And here first let me create the class file. So I have created a class file called user details with the main method, and now I'm initializing four variables here: username and phone number or instance of non-static variables, and I have created two static variables, country and country code, and I have assigned the value. I'm creating two methods here: public void display username, where I'm assigning the value for the username, which is a non-static variable, and display phone number to a value. Phone number is also a non-static variable, and this is a non-static method because you can see there is no static keyword assigned to this method. Okay, and we are creating two static methods here. See, you can see the display country has a static keyword, and display country code also has a static keyword, and I'm printing the country and country code value using these methods. And here I'm creating an object for this class user obj, and let us call all the methods. You can see here the display username and phone number are non-static methods. Okay, so we are calling that using a object. It requires an object to call an non-static method inside a static method. So this main method is also a static method, right? So that's why when we are running this program, right, we don't require any object to call this static void main method. You got it? And here you need an object to call this non-static methods. So this is also a point which we have seen before. And the display country and display country code are static methods, so you are calling that using the class name itself, user detail. This using the class name itself, we are calling these two methods. Okay, and now when we run this code, first what will happen is it will create a class area or method area. In the top you can see, and all the static members will get stored here. Okay, so this country, country code, display country and display country code method, and if you create any static block also, this will get stored in the method area. So that's why it is creating a single allocation, single copy in the memory allocation, and it is getting created when the class load itself. Okay, so first this thing will happen in the heap, and the next one is the main method will get called, and it will get set in the stack, okay, in the first row. And then we are calling the user obj, right? So that will get created in the heap, this object. And now the username method will be called and it will get created above the main method in the stack, and it will have a reference. This is an instance variable, not a local variable. Username is an instance variable, so a reference will be created. And similarly the phone number method will be called next, and a reference for the phone number instance variable will be created, and this will be pointing to an object, okay. So this object will have access to this non-static methods username and phone number, and it will have access to this reference instance variable phone number and username as well. And this username is a string, right? So this reference and it will the value will get stored in a separate place for string, okay. So this username will get stored in the string pool. And similarly this country and country code is also a string variable, and that will also if it can get created in the class area, but that will also get stored inside the heap. And now let's run this. Display country and display country code has been executed, and it will created on the top, okay. So this is why it is called as an stack, okay. So whenever a method is getting called, it will get created one above the other, okay. And if it gets executed, the last in first out policy will be followed here. And if this country code is completed, it will get removed first, and then the country method will get removed and the phone number method will get removed. So this is last in first out, okay. So this we will see later, not related to this topic, but I'm saying like you can see this phone number and username are pointing to the object, but this country code and country has been created in the class area, okay. And now let's remove this variables which we have assigned under the class, and we will put it inside a static block. The static variables we will put it inside a static block, and the non-static variables we will put it inside a constructor, okay. And let's see how it is getting worked in the program, okay. So this is what we will see now in a practical way.